Who am I? Why can't I remember anything? This room. My mind is blank.
A soldier named Akira woke in a cold infirmary, his head wrapped, his identity erased by a Titan debris blow. Two young privates stepped through the door, then froze as if staring into an abyss.
The butcher's awake. He's conscious. We have to warn the sergeant before he remembers everything.
Why are you so afraid? I can't remember anything. I just want to understand.
They scrambled over each other, fleeing, leaving the bandaged man alone with the echo of their terror. Slowly, he lifted his hands, scarred, trembling, a roadmap of violence he couldn't recall.
These hands they've killed. I can feel it beneath the skin, and everyone knows except me.
His scout uniform lay over a chair, its sleeves stained in rusty brown that shouted his past.
Akira, that's my name. But I have to find out what I was, what I did.
Akira forced himself into the mess hall, searching for answers, but the room went quiet the moment he appeared.
Why did they let him out? After all he did, we're not safe.
Please, I just want to know who I am. Why does everyone look at me like that?
Stay back. You are the Reaper. I saw what you did at Radwinter.
The word landed like a blade. Reaper. The whisper spread across the mess hall.
That's enough. Soldier, you are supposed to be in the infirmary. Return there now.
Sergeant, I have no memory. Someone has to tell me what I am.
You are a patient with a head injury. Now walk.
As Akira retreated under the sergeant's glare, a trembling cadet whispered to another, 87 kills, the Reaper's count.
87. I have to find someone who will tell me the truth.
Night had fallen. As Akira wandered the empty corridor, a door creaked open behind him. A young woman stood frozen in the threshold, tears streaking her face, a silver locket trembling in her hands.
Akira, it's really you. They said you might not remember, but I had to see for myself.
Who are you? Why are you crying? You look at me like you know something I don't.
Without a word, she opened the locket. Inside was a tiny photograph, a younger Akira, his stare cold and utterly ruthless.
This was you, and you promised me you would change. You swore you'd leave the Reaper behind.
A promise to change. Someone loved the monster enough to want him back.
But you never came back. Now, you don't even remember me. I can't look at you like this.
Before he could form a word, she turned and fled down the dark hallway, the locket pressed fiercely against her heart.
Kaori, I will find you. You are the only one who saw him as human.
The next morning brought no comfort. Sergeant Hoshino appeared at Akira's bedside with a folder stamped medical discharge.
You are officially unfit for duty. Sign here.
Discharged? But I need to find out what I did. You know, don't you, Sergeant?
I know you took a bad hit. Now you are a liability.
He's hiding something. His jaw tightens every time I ask about before.
Commander Jiro ordered your last patrol. A special mission. That's all I can say.
Hoshino shoved the papers forward, avoiding Akira's eyes. The lie hung between them.
A special patrol. Why would a commander send me alone into a Titan hotspot? That's not standard. Jiro. I'll remember that name. He sent me to die.
Akira signed the discharge, but in his mind, he was already planning to uncover the truth that Hoshino was so desperate to bury. That night, Akira slipped past sleeping guards into the core records room, where every soldier's sins were cataloged in ink.
My file. Personnel record. Akira. They've kept it near the bottom, like they wanted it forgotten.
Inside, a stark photograph of a younger Akira, his eyes glacial. Below it, a single line that drained the warmth from the room. Kill count, 87.
87. Official. The Reaper's count wasn't rumor. It was record.
The next pages detailed his service. Commendations for ruthless efficiency, missions completed with extreme prejudice, and then, buried near the end, 2 names: Staff Officer Guren and Sergeant Rada. Cause of death: training accident. Witness statement: Akira was present. No attempt made to intervene.
No attempt to intervene. The report says I just watched them die.
His own photograph stared back at him. A soldier who could watch comrades fall and feel nothing.
But this file, it's too clean. Every line praises the Reaper, but hides the reason. There has to be more.
Akira tucked the file into his coat. Whatever the truth was, it lived outside these walls, in the mouths of those who had seen him in action. Akira found Private Tanaka near the barracks, alone and jumpy. The boy flinched before Akira even spoke.
Stay away! I already told the officers everything. I don't want trouble.
I don't remember Radwinter. I just need to know what happened to Guren and Rada.
Guren, a Titan grabbed him. You were right there. You just watched him get pulled apart.
In Tanaka's recollection, Akira stood motionless as the officer screamed, his expression unreadable as carved stone.
Then Sergeant Rada fell during ODM drill. You blocked anyone from helping. You said it was training discipline.
I let them die. No, worse. I made sure no one could save them.
Everyone was terrified of you after that. You were like a machine.
But his story, it's too perfect. Like he's recited it before. Why would such a coward come so close to me now?
Akira stumbled away, the weight of the monster pressing down, but a splinter of doubt remained lodged in his mind. The courtyard bench beneath the old oak became his refuge, until Kaori approached, her eyes still swollen.
Akira, I couldn't stay away. There's something you need to see, something you left for me.
From her pocket, she drew a folded, yellowed paper, the words pressed deep by a hand that knew weight.
Before the Reaper took over, you wrote this. It was the only time you let your real self speak.
I will come back to you. I promise to change.
He wanted to change. The monster was trying to escape its cage.
But after that letter, you became colder than ever. I don't understand why.
Tears streamed down her face as old grief became fresh again in the afternoon light.
Kaori, I don't remember, but I will find out why he made that promise and why he failed. I swear it.
He held the letter, the ink a faint heartbeat. The past wasn't dead. It was waiting. That evening, forced out of the Corps, Akira packed his meager belongings. His uniform, draped on a chair, still carried the scent of old battles.
A lump in the lining. Something hidden.
He tore the seam open. A crumpled paper, thin as a dead leaf, fell into his scarred palm. Remember the hollow tree. Beside it, he found his old gloves, the leather black with old blood, proof of a past he couldn't escape.
This note, he left it for the man he would become. He knew the blow might come. The hollow tree, a place he trusted enough to hide the truth.
The note was the only map he had, pointing not to a location, but to a reason for the monster he'd been.
I have to find it before Jiro's people catch on, before they finish what they started.
With the note pressed flat in his pocket, Akira slipped out into the cold night, the hollow tree calling like a promise. Akira cut through the armory shadows. Hoshino sat alone among the rifle racks, a bottle in his hand.
Sergeant, you owe me the truth. This note tells me someone tried to erase me.
Where did you get that? Burn it. If they know you have it, we're both dead.
Hoshino's face turned ashen, but Akira didn't flinch. He pressed the paper flat against the sergeant's chest.
You said Jiro sent me on a special patrol. What was I investigating before the Titan hit me?
You don't understand. Asking about this got people killed. It got you killed.
The sergeant's voice cracked. Years of silent guilt finally snapped like a worn blade.
You were digging into something about the Titans, something that wasn't supposed to be known. Then officers started dying in accidents. The patrol to the hotspot was a setup. They made sure you wouldn't come back with your mind intact.
Akira's hands shook, but not from fear. The monster was a mask, and Hoshino's terror proved there was more to bury. Dusk painted the forest in gray as Akira followed the note's phantom directions toward the hollow tree.
Too quiet. Even the birds have gone silent.
A shadow exploded from the brush, a blade slicing where his throat had been a heartbeat earlier. Silver catching the last light, his arm moved before he could command it, twisting the wrist, sending the knife spinning into the dark like a discarded thought.
I didn't choose that. The Reaper chose for me, and he's still inside.
Akira tore the hood away. A corporal's insignia glinted, a soldier sent by Jiro. The man's mouth opened to speak, but a distant crack silenced him. Blood bloomed across his chest. Akira threw himself flat as a second bullet shredded the leaves above. Whoever held the trigger wasn't finished.
A map torn from his pocket. He was leading me somewhere, maybe to the truth.
Crude lines marked a cabin deep in the hills. Akira clutched the paper and ran, the hunter now the hunted. Hours later, lungs burning, Akira stumbled into a clearing where a rotted cabin slumped against the night.
This is it. The map led here, somewhere. Inside is the reason for everything.
His scarred hands traced the floorboards until one gave way with a groan, revealing a hidden hollow beneath. He pulled out a thick journal, its leather cover worn soft by hands that no longer existed. The first page was dated 3 years ago. The ink was heavy, deliberate. I will become the monster they need, so they never suspect me.
He chose it. The Reaper was a mask, a performance to survive.
He skimmed the entries. Titan conversion experiments, serum smuggling, names of officers who traded humanity for power.
He got close to Jiro to expose this. That's why they crushed his skull, to bury the evidence forever.
The journal wasn't just a confession. It was a weapon. And the final pages pointed to a safe where the real evidence waited. He turned the brittle pages, finding the names his former self had judged and executed. Gurren was closing in. I forced the Titan toward him. It was the only way.
He didn't kill them because he was a monster. He killed them because they would have exposed him.
Further pages held a coded diagram linking Jiro's circle to shipments of Titan serum. Evidence in safe at Old Watchtower. Coordinates, Sector 4, Grid 12.
He hid everything before they got to him. The evidence is still out there, waiting. He promised Kaori he would change, become himself again after the mission. This is what he meant.
Akira's chest ached. The butcher he had mourned was a martyr who sacrificed his humanity to save more than he killed.
I have to finish what he started, but I refuse to become the Reaper again.
He closed the journal, a weight replaced by a purpose. The Old Watchtower would be his next destination. Akira found Kaori in a storage room beneath the mess hall, praying for a ghost. He knelt and opened the journal.
He wasn't evil. He pretended to be a monster to get close to Jiro and stop something terrible.
What? What did he do? I only knew he was hiding something, but he never told me the truth.
She read the coded names, the serum shipments, the entries about Gurren and Rada. Her hand shook over his.
Jiro came to me after your injury. He said if I spoke a word, you'd never wake up. I've been living in silence.
She's been a prisoner too. The old me kept her as a shield, but the new me will protect her.
Before words could fail, she fell into his arms. The locket pressed between them, cold against his chest.
I'll help you. Tell me where to go. I won't let you face them alone.
A clatter echoed from the corridor. Black boots. Jiro's men had come to silence them both.
They're here. Kaori, there's a service tunnel behind the crates. Go now. I'll hold them off.
Akira shoved a crate against the door, the wood groaning as fists pounded from the other side.
I need to be fast, precise, not a butcher, just enough to escape.
Across the base, Commander Jiro stood before a panel, his finger pressing the alarm with cold finality.
All units locked down. The amnesiac and the girl are traitors. Capture them or bury them.
Kaori crawled through the narrow service tunnel, Akira's journal pressed to her chest, her heart pounding against the leather. Akira caught up at the tunnel mouth. Together they plunged into the forest, branches whipping their faces.
They're flanking us. If I don't use the old skills now, Kaori dies.
A soldier lunged. Akira's arm swept up, deflecting the blade. In 3 brutal movements, the man lay still.
That was the Reaper. His eyes went empty. I've seen it before.
Akira grabbed Kaori's hand and ran, her pulse a drumbeat of something new, awe and dread tangled together. Night peeled back to a gray dawn. Akira and Kaori stood before the hollow tree, its bark scarred by decades of wind. Inside the hollow, a small iron box waited. Akira's scarred fingers found a key, cold and heavy. Nearby, beneath a tangle of roots, he uncovered his old ODM gear, blades, gas canisters, the terrible weight of the Reaper. Kaori watched as he strapped the harness across his chest, her hands twisting together. His face lifted, the gentle eyes of an amnesiac, but the set jaw of a soldier who knew the cost.
I'll be the Reaper one last time, but this time it's for the truth, not the lie. Kaori, I have to become him one final time. But now I choose to, so I can end it.
Then promise me, when the evidence is secure, you'll put the blades down forever. Come back as Akira.
I swear it. After tonight, the Reaper dies for good.
He lifted the key and the blades, and together they faced the path to the old watchtower. The old watchtower rose from the mist, its stone walls still holding the scent of old battles. The key turned with a screech. Inside, thick envelopes, serum formulas, a roster of names.
This is everything. Enough to bring down a command.
But before they could retreat, black uniforms filled the doorway. Commander Jiro stepped forward, his smile a blade.
The Reaper, playing hero. Did you really think I'd let you walk out of here?
Akira's body moved before his mind could catch up, blades tracing arcs of restraint, not murder. In seconds, the guards lay groaning, their weapons scattered like fallen teeth. Only Jiro remained, backed against the safe. Akira's blade kissed his throat.
Akira, you are not him. Remember your promise. The Reaper dies here.
Akira's hand trembled, then lowered. The evidence was safe, and Jiro would face a trial, not a grave. The thunder of boots rolled through the watchtower as loyalist forces, led by Sergeant Hoshino, flooded the stone chamber.
Commander Jiro, by order of the Corps High Command, you are under arrest for treason and conspiracy.
Akira sagged against Kaori, the last of his strength bleeding into her shoulder as the ODM gear finally felt too heavy.
I should have listened. When you came asking, I was too scared. I owe you more than an apology.
Kaori placed the thick dossier into the hands of a shocked captain. The truth was no longer buried.
It's over. But the Reaper's shadow still clings to me. They'll see a weapon, not a man.
You kept your promise. Now rest. Let the Corps carry the weight for a while.
Hoshino oversaw the arrests, his gaze heavy with the years he'd looked away while the conspiracy festered.
The Corps owes you a debt, Akira. I'll make sure the commanders know the truth.
But even as the sun broke through the watchtower windows, Akira felt the cold of all the eyes that would never see him, only the Reaper. 3 days later, beneath a cloudless sky, the Corps assembled for a ceremony that many thought would never come.
They're cheering now. The same voices that whispered butcher a week ago.
A medal was pinned to his chest. Bravery, they called it. His scarred hand trembled as it touched the cold metal.
This isn't for me. It's for the ghost, who wore my skin and paid the price.
Later, on the wind-battered cliff overlooking the base, Kaori found him staring at the horizon.
I can't stay, Kaori. The uniform still smells like the Reaper. I need to become someone else entirely.
Then let's go. You kept your promise. Now make a new one with me, somewhere far from all this.
She doesn't mourn the Reaper. She chooses me, the amnesiac, the gentle stranger. A promise, then. I'll never wear that uniform again. I'll become someone who heals, not kills.
The wind carried the last traces of the Reaper, scattering them like ash over the edge of the world. Before the sun could rise fully, Akira walked alone to the hilltop cemetery, a place he had only heard about in whispers. He knelt before the simple stones bearing the names Guren and Rada, and placed a bundle of white lilies between them.
I don't remember your faces, but I know I took your lives. I wish there had been another way. What I did saved lives, but it still stains. I won't pretend otherwise.
A rough wind brought an older woman in mourning black, her steps tremulous with a hatred that had waited years. She spat at his feet, the spittle landing on the lilies. Akira did not step back or wipe it away.
I deserve her rage. If she needs a monster to curse, let me be that. It's the least I can give her.
From the cemetery gate, Kaori pressed a hand to her mouth, tears slipping between her fingers. She did not go to him. He rose slowly, the morning mist clinging to his shoulders, like the names of all those he would never be forgiven for.
I can't undo it, but I can carry it. That's the cost of walking away.
The sun melted into the horizon as Akira climbed to the barracks rooftop, where Kaori already sat waiting.
You went to the graves alone. I was afraid you'd disappear without a word.
I couldn't leave without facing them, but I also couldn't leave without facing you.
He pulled the silver locket from his pocket, the same one she had shown him that first night.
This held the man you loved, but he's gone. If you can love the one who stands here now, I want you by my side.
He's giving me the choice. The Reaper's shadow or the gentle stranger. It was never a choice. I always loved both, but I am glad you finally kept your promise to change.
She took the locket and pressed it to her heart, then reached for his scarred hand, intertwining their fingers.
Then let's leave tonight. Find a place where no one knows the name Akira or the Reaper.
They sat in silence as the stars emerged, two broken people choosing to be whole together. Hours later, in the hollow quiet of his stripped barracks room, Akira opened the worn journal to its final page. I am not the Reaper. I am not the amnesiac. I am simply Akira.
That's the truth. The only one that matters. The past is ink. I am the hand that writes forward.
He placed the journal inside a small wooden box, then pulled the metal from his pocket, its shine like a borrowed lie. He closed the lid, the soft thud sealing away the names. The blood, the ghosts, at first light, dressed in simple civilian clothes. Akira walked through the empty corridor one final time. Kaori waited at the eastern gate, a small pack at her feet, her eyes tired but steady as the dawn.
No more goodbyes, just the road.
She nodded, taking his hand. Together, they stepped beyond the core's shadow, the sun erasing the path behind them. The world stretched before them, unwritten and unforgiving, but theirs to choose. A year later, in a village too small for a map, the morning sun found Akira kneeling beside a child with a skinned knee. His hands, once jagged instruments of death, now wrapped a bandage with impossible softness. Kaori pushed open the wooden door, a basket of fresh bread on her hip, her smile the same one she wore on the rooftop. Akira looked up from the boy, and his gentle eyes held no trace of the cold, only peace.
The bread smells like the future.
That's because it is. Now, finish up. The sunlight won't last forever.
He tied off the bandage with a knot, ruffled the boy's hair, and rose without a single ghost clinging to his shadow. Together they stepped out onto the sunlit road, the village waking around them with the sounds of quiet life. She squeezed his hand, and he squeezed back, the silent language of two people who had walked through fire and refused to burn. Ahead, the village awaited, a story that would never need a battlefield.